Hello everyone, it's Maria here from peppelyrose.blogspot.com.au. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to show you a one layer card, very simple, with the Sale-a-bration Lots of Lavender stamp set. Now this stamp set is part of our celebration, which goes from the 3rd of January to the 31st of March. And with this stamp set, for every $90 you spend, whether it's from our current occasions catalogue, which just came out only a few days ago, or our annual catalogue, you have the opportunity to earn one free item, and this is one of them. This is a fantastic set, multi-purpose, and you can use this for absolutely any occasion at all. And so I'm going to be featuring this stamp set today, along with one that's featured in our annual catalogue, and it's the Colourful Seasons stamp set. Now in all of this stamp set's absolutely stunning, but I'm only going to use the sentiment thinking of you because this stamp set doesn't have a sentiment, which is fantastic because that means you can use it for absolutely anything. So we'll get started on our project. Firstly, I'm just going to use card base, which is thick Whisper White cardstock. Now this is an A6 size, so it's half an A4. It's scored in half again, and I'm going to now burnish that score line. So I'll just make sure that it's all nice and even. And I will now burnish that with my bone folder. Okay. Now, because this is one layer, I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Okay. Now, I don't think I did that straight actually. Just give me a second. Make sure that I did that. I'll do it again nice and straight. That's better. Okay, much better. Okay, much better. Alright. So today I'll be using two stamping tools. I'll be using my MISTI and my Tim Holtz stamp platform. The reason why I'm using this is I'm going to be doing some heat embossing, and I want it really, really precise. And the reason why I'm using two surfaces is because it'll just make my stamping a lot easier and faster. So if I had the Stamparatus, of course I will not need to have these two, but since I do have them in my possession, I'm just going to use them. So imagine this as being a Stamparatus, and I can't wait to get mine. So I'm going to use this image here, or if you want to see it clearer, it's this one over here, and I'm going to leave it in my MISTI tool. So I'm just going to take this bit out, and I'm just going to place it somewhat in the middle here. Okay, and I'll place it where I like, so it's not overly precise, but this is roughly where I want it. Okay, so I'll put the MISTI tool on top, make sure that's quite, yep, there. Okay, and I'm going to do a stamp. I'm going to stamp it with Sahara sand. So I'll just do that, just ink that up. Okay, I'm just doing a preliminary stamp because I am going to heat emboss that image at the end. So I've just got my chamois, and I'll just wipe off any excess ink around the MISTI. And I'll bring this back, and I'm just going to stamp it. This is just to guide me as to where I'm going to put my layers, okay, of colour, because this stamp set has the leaves, the bow, and the stems, and the colour of the flowers part with the watercolour look, and I want it to be somewhat precise. So I'm just putting this here as a guide so it makes it easier for me to see it. So that's how it looks there. So I'm going to wipe that down, and I'm going to leave the stamp on there, and I'm going to put the MISTI away just for now. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I'm going to butt this on the corner, and I'm going to first off layer all the leaves. So now with this, you have this one that has like 4 leaves. This goes over here. So I'm just going to position that right near the top. So this is in anticipation too of getting the Stamparatus, so it just makes it easy for you to understand how to use the 4 surfaces. And because I don't have it yet, I'm waiting just like everybody else to receive theirs. So I'm just going to position that with the leaves. It's not overly precise because it is a watercolour image. Oops, now I moved it because the stamp's a bit sticky. So pop that over here again. Okay, perfect. Now I'll get the next bit, because these are all going to be one colour. So when you are using stamp positioners such as this, or the Stamparatus, this is just a walk in the park. You just do it once, and if it doesn't ink properly, you just do it again, and it's no drama. So, oh, why did I move that for? Sorry, hang on. Oops. Okay, get in there. Right, okay. Now there's this little image that goes down here. So grab that stamp. I'll make this go down there. Oh, did I have to touch that? See, when these stamps are brand new, I haven't actually used these before, but I have the idea in my head, so I'm just going to go with it. And when the stamps are new, they're quite sticky, so you may move your hand, but it still sticks on. See that? So I'm just going to try and get rid of the tack off that a little bit, and I think that's working somewhat, yeah. Okay, so position that there. And position, I'll do this with this one too because I don't want to be fiddling around with this. And here. Okay, get in there. All right, got it. Now I'm just going to put my thing there. I'm just going to get some Pear Bazaars ink, and I'm just going to ink up those stamps. Hope you can see that. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off the excess ink. With this Tim Holtz you don't have to, but I'll just do it anyway, just to make sure that I don't muck it up. And because they're placed perfectly, make sure it's right on the edge. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's not overly precise, just so you know, because it's a watercolour look. So you do the best you can with it. Okay, so let these go off to dry. Now I'm going to stamp the little bow. There's a little bow here. And I'll be using, for that, just make sure it's stamped properly. So I'll just be off of you for just a second whilst I position this to make sure it's done precisely. Just make sure I get rid of the tack. Okay, so I'll put it on there. Okay. Put my plate on there. And I'm going to ink that little stamp up, I'm not sure if you can even see that, with some Pool Party. Now this is a brand new ink pad, so just tap it on very, very lightly. And I'm just going to now stamp over the top. And that's stamped perfectly. See that? Perfect. And next I'm going to stamp the flowers, the lavender part. You can use purple, you can use whatever colours you want. I want to keep it true to the name of lavender. Okay, so I'll just position this as well as I can. I'll just get rid of the tack because it does stick to my fingers. Now, because it's a watercolour wash, it's not exactly precise, but I just wanted to not muck this up because it's a one layer card. Okay, so I think that's positioned well. Okay, and I'm going to use my Wisteria Wonder ink, and I'm going to ink that up. Okay, and now I'm going to do that. And it's inked up. I might actually go over it again with the Wisteria Wonder. I think my ink pad is drying up a little bit. So I was just inking it up there. Sorry if I was off camera for that. So I'll do that again. Make it a little bit darker. And that's a lot better. See that? Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe my stamp off with my chamois. Okay, gets rid of the stains and everything, and you only need water, which is fantastic. Okay, and we don't need the Tim Holtz one anymore, so I'm going to bring back my MISTI. Now just imagine if we had the Stamparatus. I don't need to do that. It'll be much easier. Okay, so I've got that stamp positioned precisely where I like, because I'm going to heat emboss over the top. I don't like inking up with your stamps after you've heat embossed, because it's raised a little bit, you don't get a proper image. So that's why I wanted to ink that up first in a light colour. Then I'm going to heat emboss it precisely over the top, so it doesn't look like, you know, I've gone out of my way to not do it properly, if you get my drift. Okay, so now I'm going to get the sentiment Thinking of You. This also makes a fantastic sympathy card. I know that sounds awful, but it does. So I'm just going to put the Thinking of You down the bottom, but to your right. Okay, so if you can see that there. Okay, and just line it up as best I can. Okay, I'm going to put my plate over the top, and you can use the grids if you want to really line it up. Here's where you roughly want it, but you can actually use the grids afterwards on this side to position it where you would like. So I'll just use the grids here that's on the actual lid and position my stamp exactly where it needs to be. So when we put it on here, that'll be down here, and that has moved, so make sure it's right on the edge. All right, so what I'm going to do now is get my embossing buddy and just put a layer of embossing buddy over the top to get rid of any static. So I make sure that the ink only goes where it needs to go. So I'll just ink that up with Versamark now. Okay, ink it up really well. Then I'm going to go over the top of this. Okay, and I'll just wipe off my stamps. I won't need them anymore. I won't think so. So I'll just put them away. In fact, don't do what I just did, but do keep them on here in case there's been a mistake. But I'm sure it'll be okay. Can't go wrong with this for some reason. All right, I'll just grab my gold embossing powder. Okay, and I'm just going to put gold emboss powder over that entire image and the sentiment. Okay, I'm nearing finishing my embossing powder. I've had it for several years, so if you're thinking of, you know, getting embossing powder, it'll last you for a very, very long time. I've had mine for about 8 years now, I think. It's been a while. And as you can see, the embossing powder has gone over the top exactly. See that? So I'll just grab some more of that powder and go over the entire image there. Okay. Okay, so now that I have put some embossing powder, I am going to heat emboss this off camera, and I will be back. Okay everyone, I'm back. Now I'm just going to show you the card. I've just heat embossed it, so hopefully this shine will come through. So I'll just shine it there, see that? And because I used the MISTI and my Tim Holtz, it did it exactly as I wanted, and that's why I wanted to keep this card one layer, very, very simple, because it allows me then to do beautiful techniques such as heat embossing precisely over the top once you've finished, you know, using your stamps. If, for example, you heat emboss this first, you could use an aqua painter or a you can also use a blender pen, and you can just colour the image yourself. But I'm pretty lazy, so I wanted to use my stamp set directly so that I can then just do that, and it gives it that watercolour look, which is just beautiful. And it's not precise exactly where you want it to be. Like, I might have been a little bit off as well, but that to me is okay because that adds to the charm of the card. And using my stamp tools really helped me to make sure that, excuse me, that the image is precise, and it allows me to do stuff like this. So, excuse me, just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I just had a little choke there. Mouth was extremely dry. So anyway, I've got the aircon going today because it's really, really hot here in Sydney. Yesterday we had the top was 47.1 degrees Celsius out in Penrith. I think there was a cricket game going, and on the field it was 50 degrees Celsius. So I'm not sure how much that is in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty hot. And today it's a little bit lower, but it's very humid. So yes, I'm extremely dry. But anyway, I digress, I'm so sorry. So anyway, this is the end result. So that's why I thought I'll keep it simple. And when you feature something such as embossing, it looks stunning on its own, and I don't think it really needs much else. So if you need a thinking of you card, a sympathy card, a thank you card, doing a one layer card and using your platforms, if you have a MISTI or you have the Tim Holtz stamp platform, or you have any other type of platform, go for it, use it, because it is very handy when it comes to these kinds of stamps as well. And also with rubber stamps, they're fantastic. So I can't wait to get my hands on the Stamparatus, because quite frankly, that would have come in very handy with today's card. So as you could see, I would have used, say, the embossing 1, 2, 3, 4 definitely surfaces, no problem with the Stamparatus. So do keep your eyes and ears out. I'll be getting mine around March, so I can't wait. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And do take advantage of Sale-a-bration. So if you really like this stamp set, I highly, highly recommend getting the lots of, oops, everything's stuck on, the Lots of Lavender stamp set, because it is a free set. So if you order anything from the occasions or the annual catalogue, you can earn this set for free. So have a wonderful day, everyone. I hope you liked my tutorial, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.